Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We just got a few pretty big leaks. Now, of course, take literally all of these with a grain of salt because we no longer have as reliable of leakers as Anon. So, even if the majority of this is correct, some things could be wrong, some things could change. I'm saying this because it's a lot of big leaks, right? So, let's get straight into it. There will be no new male characters in Himiko's team, but it's not guaranteed that there won't be any old ones. So this goes back to an old leak that we got, that Himiko's team would be full of tall women and wouldn't have any men in it. And I guess this just reconfirms that leak. It doesn't say anything about tall women, but it just says no men, right? The three new male characters are in one team. So we obviously know what it is that this implies. It implies that Blade is follow-up and Avon is as well follow-up too. We don't know exactly who's going to be the DPS. I doubt they'd make Avon a sustain a second time, but at the exact same time, I also find it kind of sad that Blade probably wouldn't be a DPS in his new version if this is the case. Oh no, we'll see how it goes, right? Next, we have Evanescia is a master love character. Her splash art contains Trailblazer elements, and her teammates are Yao Guang and EMC. Now, a master love character is basically Firefly. Now, this is a hilarious turn of events, because I've been seeing a ton of Evanescia mains being pretty toxic to Silverwolf mains as of recent, thinking that they'd give Silverwolf the Firefly treatment, right? However, instead, it's actually Evanescia who's going to be more Firefly-esque in terms of her likability of the Trailblazer and the way she acts in the story to the Trailblazer, right? Next, we have SP Silverwolf, Sparksy, and Yao Guang are in one team. The gap between low and high Eidolon investment is large, so it's recommended mainly for whales. Now, this isn't really surprising. This is normal with every anti-main push. The Eidolons are huge bait across the entire team, and once you get the Eidolons going, man, it feels exceptional, right? Same thing applies to Mono Rem especially. It's definitely the best comparison as of recent. Next, we have Silverwolf and Evanescia will both get after sales service. Silverwolf and Sparksy will be in one team, while Evanescia and Yao Guang will be in another team. The main push is Silverwolf. The two Elation teams are all female. Their strength is still unclear. EMC's mechanic roughly copies the previous teammate's Elation skill and provides a large number of punchlines. So, you guys will already know, I don't know how much I agree with this. I'm not kicking it out of the, window. I always accept the fact that things are possible. However, this kind of contradicts Anon's leak, which is my only issue. If they said, Evanescia isn't going to get any best in slots, but Silverwolf will get a Yao Guang replacement, it would have made more sense and been more in line with what Anon said of us barely getting any Elation characters late in the version. However, if this is to be taken into account instead, then we'd need at least 3 other new Elation characters. The Elation sustain, you then have the Yao Guang replacement for a Silverwolf team, and then you need the EMC replacement for a Evanescia team, because otherwise she's going to be stuck with EMC, right? So for this reason, I just think it is definitely a little fishy that Anon would say they're barely releasing any Elation characters anymore. We're not getting any for a long time. And then another leaker says we're getting at minimum 3 more Elation characters to sell towards these new teams. However, one thing is confirmed at least. Yao Guang, at the bare minimum, will stay best in slot for Silverwolf for quite a long while. And even as of current, she is better than any other option, is basically what this says. So I apologize if I do end up being wrong, like damn near a year from now, when they release some type of Yao Guang replacement for Silverwolf, I guess. I'm still skeptical about this personally, though, right? And the last leak is that, well, it's just them correcting themselves, right? Once again, please take leaks like this with a grain of salt, because keep in mind, even Anon Leaks, the most reliable leaker in our entire space, did not say that Sparksy was a sub DPS for Silverwolf's team. In fact, I predicted Sparksy being a sub DPS for the Annie main push like 1 to 2 weeks before Anon finally came out and corrected his old leak about Sparksy being a main DPS and changed it to her having a sub DPS role, right? So this is happening right here once again. They literally just leaked that EMC can reenact a teammate's elation skill and provide a large number of punchlines, and then they say over here they're actually wrong. EMC cannot provide a large number of punchlines. Sparksy is a punchline generating machine. It's written in her design. EMC doesn't have the ability to provide a large amount of punchlines. So as I thought, EMC does seem to be just a Walmart Yao Guang to a certain extent. Not as strong out of turn aha instance. Probably doesn't even have as strong of passive punchline gen. So I do think Yao Guang is staying in the Silverwolf team, specifically because of how synergistic she is with Sparksy. But once again, I'm open to being wrong. But even if I am, it's going to be 1 year from now. And to be honest, I don't give a shit. Right, you guys will know I've already pulled Yao Guang across all my accounts planning to get Elation. And even if she gets power crept, I mean, I'm just going to grab the E1 and it doesn't matter. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Peace out.